Scene where that happened was where the same friend told her that she needed to have herself checked because she was exportation business. The king in the movie decided that he was going to stop, think about things to do, always ensure that you are not shortchanging yourself. I want to do a quick review of the movie The Woman King in this particular video. I saw the movie over the weekend and I really enjoyed it. It's been a week now since I saw the movie, and while I was watching it, instead of concentrating on the storyline and whatever they were saying, I was basically picking out personal finance lessons from the movie. So in this particular video, I'm going to be sharing personal finance lessons from the movie The Woman King. The movie was more about women soldiers that were able to fight wars in the past, and it was about a particular kingdom or empire or whatever they call it in the past, and how they handled slave trading and how they managed their economy at that particular point in time in the past. So before watching the movie, a bit of background: I did not read about the history and where the story sprung up from, but after seeing the movie I went back and I read, and there's actually a bit of controversy all over, and people on YouTube are making a whole lot of fuss about it, but that is not where we're going to be looking at this from. We're going to be looking, or rather we're going to be working with the scripts they acted and how they made the movie. So in that particular movie, the first personal finance lesson I learned is that we should practice delayed gratification. So the king in the movie decided that he was going to stop slave trading his people, and he was going to focus more on exportation business, and he was hell-bent on it. So when I took note about it, or what made me take note about that decision, was when he took the soldier, his female soldier, the lead soldier, to the plantation, the palm oil plantation, and talked about his dream for their economy and how he wanted to be one of the biggest exporters of palm oil and other products in the empire or territory. And that stood out for me because what he did right there, that decision right there, meant that he was no longer going to be selling slaves, but he was going to be exporting. So for him to get more money, he needed more hands, he needed more people that were healthy, strong, to stay back and work on the farmlands, the plantations, and make sure that they had more than enough things to consume and also export. So this is one really insightful thing that I learned from the movie, that as you go on in life, as you begin to build wealth, as you begin to think about things to do, always ensure that you are not shortchanging yourself, because that was what he did. He ensured that he was not shortchanging himself by selling his slaves or selling his people to slavery while not having enough hands to help him build long-term wealth. Another thing I learned from that movie, which is not exactly directly in the personal finance line, but also it is actually very helpful, which is to have someone that can always talk to you, someone that can influence you, more like a friend or a group of friends that you can always run things through before making decisions. This particular lesson was picked out from the scene whereby the lead character, the female soldier, had another soldier that walked behind of her. There was a particular scene when they went to look for trouble, when they went to fight, and then there was an error. They didn't follow the exact plan they had mapped out. Her friend did not caution her in front of all of the lower soldiers, but she called her aside and told her that what she had done was actually wrong. And another scene where that happened was where the same friend told her that she needed to have herself checked because she was having a lot of nightmares, so she needed to consult and all of that, of which she did, and she got clarity. Another time where she had her friend speak to her was when she was trying to disobey the king's order. Of course, that didn't go as planned. But one thing I noticed was that she always had somebody to call her back, to drag her back. So if you want to build wealth, if you want to grow, you need to have somebody that would always drag you back to your actual purpose, that would always remind you that, oh, this is what you stand for, this is what you're doing, or you're probably going wrong. Another point where I also experienced that friendship and having someone to help you and always direct you in the right path, that is more knowledgeable than you most of the time, was when the second lead character had the friend with one of the older trainers, and that trainer told her what to do, how to do to get the lead soldier's attention, and also told her how to train to get better. So this is actually really good, because we cannot go on this journey alone. You need to have friends of like mind. You need to have people that see things from your point of view, or rather can influence you when you are going the wrong way. So this is one other lesson I learned from the movie The Woman King. Another personal finance lesson I picked out from the movie was having to do your due diligence. So we saw that the slave traders, the white people that came to buy slaves and all of that, made sure that the people that they were buying, which is wrong, but let's just pick out the lesson, were in good condition, they were fit and all of that. So always make sure that in whatever you're doing, do your due diligence, ask questions. Does this align with my goal? At this particular point in time, is this useful for me? Do I want to go on with this decision? Who has done it? How has the history of this particular business I'm trying to venture into, how has it been? This investment I'm doing, is it credible? Are the owners? Ask yourself difficult questions, and make sure you always carry out your due diligence over and over again, so that you are making the right decisions at the right time for yourself that suits you. It must not be the same for everybody, but just make sure that you satisfy yourself and tick out all of the boxes. The fourth lesson I learned from the movie is not to make hasty decisions. Always take your time to evaluate the profit that you're going to get. So sometimes some ventures might actually look profitable in the beginning, but when things don't go as planned, you end up losing in the long run. So ensure that you do not make hasty decisions for yourself. So this particular is closely linked to doing your due diligence, right? It's actually very closely linked to doing your due diligence. So make sure that you are not falling for the trap of quick gains, quick profits, and whatever you're venturing into, whatever business you're trying to get into, is credible. It is going to give you the desired profit that you want. The last but not the least lesson I picked up from the movie The Woman King about personal finance was to always think long term. Yes, always think long term. When it comes to investing, personal finance, your long term goals would always beat whatever short-term profits, whatever short-term thing that you're doing. Fine, when you're setting your goals, you will definitely have the short, medium and long-term goal, but always try to ensure that you have a perfect balance between your short-term goals, your medium-term and the long-term goals. Because I can still pick out this lesson from the point where he said he was no longer going to be selling slaves, but he would rather export his goods. He was trying to ensure that he was making a better decision for his economy. Like I said, if he sells all of his useful strong men, he would not have anybody to work for him. So it's the same way you need to always think about whatever you're doing in the long term, because compounding time, due diligence always adds up when it comes to investing. And also when it comes to personal finance, you must always think long term. It's not just about now. What are you earning? Are you going to continue earning that same amount till the end of time? Are you planning for your retirement? You need to always think long term when it comes to your money. So it's not just only about investing. What are you saving? Do let me know if you got any value from this movie review, and if you'd want me to try out more review of movies like this and bring up personal finance lessons from them, and I definitely will be doing that. Please make sure to like, comment and share this video with a friend, so that more people can see things like this and pick up lessons from them. And if you're interested in personal finance, budgeting, saving, investing, everything about money, do not forget to turn on the notification bell so that when next I put up a new video, you'll be the first to get notified. And I'm going to see you soon. I remain your personal finance girl. Bye for now.